Undisputed.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Undisputed live from Los Angeles. I'm Jen Hale here with Drip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, and a very special early Christmas present for all of you, courtesy of Oscar winner, Grammy winner, actor-singer Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
You're going to like this one, Shannon. Get ready. He had a little fun moment with you and how you debate Skip. You put it out yesterday. Take a look.
I ran into Shannon Sharp. I saw him yesterday. He was clowning on my cowboy. But every time I see Shannon, I just go skip, 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 skip. No, skip, 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 skip. That ain't what it was. Skip, skip. That ain't what it was. Skip. No. Skip, 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 skip.
That is pretty awesome. Shannon, what was that?
Actually, we ran into each other last week. Skip, I was at my agent's office, and he was in a meeting, and he came out, and we started talking and carrying on. But he's a diehard cowboy. Diehard. Crazy. But when I see him again, I'm going to run up on him, Skip.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to run up on him.
Well, I think you might not have a chance to run up on him anytime soon. He might run up on you at the Super Bowl because the Cowboys just might show up.
They ain't going to be there. They won't be there. Well, he won't be there.
If they show up, he will definitely show up at the
Well, he
Super
won't be at the
Bowl.
Super Bowl then, Skip. I'm sorry.
So,
I tell you.
I know.
That was good. That was a good impersonation,
It was
though.
really good, and I know exactly how Jamie was feeling because I get that every day. Skip, 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 skip.
That ain't what it was, Skip. That's not how it happened.
Well, we have a packed show today. Did Giannis prove he's the best player in the NBA last night with his win over LeBron? Plus, a very special guest later in the show. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Skip's wife, Ernestine, stops by to talk about Skip and this roller coaster of a Cowboy season.
Yep.
How does she put up with you?
Good question.
First, we are breaking down the Cowboys showdown with Sunday with the Eagles. Dak Prescott has remained limited in practice this week, struggling with a sprained AC joint in that throwing shoulder. Now, the QB does say he's going to be good to go by Sunday against Philly, and Jerry Jones says he expects Dak to be in, quote, top form. Following the news about Dak's shoulder, the Cowboys have become less of a favorite each and every day. Dak reportedly scheduled to throw today at practice, though, so we'll see if that changes things. Shannon, who you got? Who wins?
Skip, I'll make no bones about this. I am picking this game with my heart instead of my head because by all indications, the Cowboys should win this. Cowboys are the better team. They're the healthier of the teams. I understand
They
it.
are?
Yeah, I get that Dak has a sprained AC joint, but Skip, look, we've seen what the Eagles have been dealing with the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take the Eagles in a close ball game. I'm going to take this ball. I'm going to say the Eagles win 24-20. And I say the game's going to be close. Either the Eagles going to win a close ball game or the Cowboys are going to blow them out the water. But the thing that the Eagles need to do, Skip, is get this game to the fourth quarter and have it close. The Cowboys have only won one game by one score, and that was Detroit. You look at all the other games that they've lost, the one-score games that they won last year, Skip. Remember, they were unbelievable in one-score games.
The script got completely flipped.
It did. And so this is what we know about the Cowboys. They're front runners. If they get on the lead, and the Eagles know well enough, because the first time they played them in Jerry's world, the quick two turnovers, it went 14-0. The next thing you know, they were cruising to a 37-10 final score. Wentz has been unbelievable in the last two ball games.
He has.
Last week, he was 11-11, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The Eagles need to cash in the red zone, Skip. They've been very good in the red zone. Last 3 weeks, 13 red zone drives, 10 touchdowns.
Yep.
They will definitely need to do that again. And so, because this is the way they're going to have to win this game. If they can get ahead, this is what we've seen from the Cowboys. If the Eagles can get ahead, the Cowboys will abandon the run. And that was really their best way to beat the Cowboys because they're going to have to sell out. I believe they're going to have to sell out to stop the run because I don't believe they can play basically a seven front and says, okay, a 7-man front and says, okay, guys, you guys gobble Zeke up. We're going to need these back guys to be in coverage. They're going to have to sell out. Well, when you sell out, that means the secondary is going to be one-on-one. Amari Cooper feasts on Eagles. He loves Eagles. I guess it's a delicacy or somewhere down in, he's from Florida, so I wouldn't go say Alabama, but in Florida, I guess Eagles are delicacy because he's been feasting on them ever since he's been in Dallas. He's had his best games against the Eagles. And the Eagles secondary leaves a lot to be desired.
True.
Darby has not been very good. He has not been the same corner since he came out that ACL injury. So with that being said, I know I should pick the Cowboys, but my heart won't let me because I said at the beginning of the season, they weren't going to make the playoffs, and I'm going to stand by that. So I'm going to take the Eagles in a close ball game, Skip. I'm going to say they win 24-20.
Okay. I appreciate that objectivity, and I appreciate that you just threw it right out in the middle of the table, that it's heart over head on your part.
Yep.
But you have told me all week long, Dak Prescott is not hurt. Are you standing by that?
He's not hurt like you was leading us to believe. Like, man, Dak was the man. I don't know how he, I don't even know how Dak made it out of bed this morning with the arm. Stop it. He's not hurt to the extent that you want people to believe because you want him to be like hero. You want Dak to have a Kirk Gibson moment. That's what you want, and it's not going to be that because he's not that hurt.
I just want Dak to be completely healthy for Sunday, and I do not believe he remotely is.
Nobody is completely healthy at this time of year. You know that.
Blah, 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 blah. I cannot tell you how much I hope you are correct that we are exaggerating the level of contusion in his shoulder, because I believe it's more contusion than an AC joint, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But look, I'm going to be honest back to you. I have told you all year long, my team is better than your team. The Cowboys are simply better than the Eagles on both sides of the ball. They have not consistently displayed that, but neither have the Eagles. So here we are, 7-7, playing for a playoff game.
Yep.
A lot of people have little to no respect for this game, and I don't care because I still believe in my team's capability, its firepower, its nuclear capability to make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, they have to prove that to me the way they did this past Sunday against the Rams. I told you this past Monday, finally I saw my team. It took 14 weeks to see my team, and I finally saw them. And I said, there it is, and there it could be. And I was so happy on Sunday night because I believed with all my heart and soul that my Cowboys would beat your Eagles and Carson Wentz this coming Sunday. I told you 1 week ago, sitting right here in this chair, I was adamant about it. I said, remember what my first line to you? This is last Friday. I have an announcement to make. The Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the Los Angeles Rams. I told you that, and they didn't just beat them. They beat them up, beat them down. I can't wait for our man, Eric Dickerson, the Rambassador. He's going to join us here in just a few minutes. I think I passed him in the hall, but he might exit stage left because after he hears my spiel here this morning, he better bring it.
Yeah, he might Skype in.
He might Skype in. 44-21. That was a statement. And now this has happened. I have to hear about this shoulder. And I have to hear, this is just the facts now. I'm not making an excuse. I'm not trying to establish a pregame escape hatch in case my quarterback stinks it up. Because I don't believe if he's healthy, he will stink it up. I think Sunday is made for Dak Prescott if his shoulder is right, and I do not believe it's remotely right. He didn't throw a single pass on a Wednesday or a Thursday. There are reports he might try to throw today or a little bit tomorrow. But now I get to a report from Dr. David Chow, known as the sports doc. For 17 years, you might remember, he was the San Diego Chargers team doctor. And he really broke down after studying the tape of the injury. And now I do believe, after yesterday, I was skeptical about when the injury occurred. It did happen on that first running play.
Clay Matthews.
Yeah, it's the Clay Matthews play. It's a first down play on what became their first touchdown drive. And he ran the zone read keeper to the right, and Clay Matthews was laying for him all day because Wade Phillips says, we're not going to let Dak Prescott beat us running the football. And he did kind of outwit and outquick Clay a little bit and got an edge on him and got 7 yards, but then Clay came over the top of him. And Dr. Chow makes a very strong point, and it's really smart, that what happened on the play was Clay came over the top and Dak's right shoulder, it's the ball arm, right elbow, hit first, jamming the shoulder.
Right.
So he's saying this is not your typical AC joint sprain. This is a rotator cuff contusion. He said with the AC sprain, you're immediately hurt to the point you got to go to the blue tent.
Okay.
that you need an immediate injection to be able to continue to play in the football game. And that it becomes very difficult with a sprain to throw the football that day in that game. But you can bounce back very quickly the next week from that sprain. With the cuff bruise, you can't bounce back. You can tough through it on adrenaline that day. But then the bursa sac, I'm not going to get too medical technical, but you know this, swells. And so Monday, Tuesday, you're in big trouble because it's so swollen you can't even move your shoulder. So you'll have your MRI and it'll show no structural damage. But the AC joint would show a lot of negative on the MRI, but this one shows nothing except swelling. So I just believe that David Chow is correct, that they will try to let him throw a little bit after they give him a cortisone shot. What's the cortisone for? It's not to deaden, it's anti-inflammatory. It's to kill, to kill all the inflamed cells. So you take the cortisone, then you go out to the practice field and you try to work through the kinks of the cortisone shot, which is no fun to take. You've had them. I've had them.
I have.
I do not, because the
needle's about that long.
gauge of the needle is so
because
thick.
they got to wiggle it around, Skip. They got to get it as close to the area as they possibly can.
And cortisone is so thick to come through the tip of that needle that it is no fun. And then you got to try to work it around and see, can I throw a little bit over the top? I don't know. Now, here's my point about this game. You've talked all year about Ezekiel Elliott, that he's the driving force, says you. And if you're right about that, and they are forced to go to Zeke on Sunday, let's do this, 35 Zeke carries, and let's throw 15 more on top to Tony Pollard. What if they try to run it 50 times? I just don't think they can win that kind of a football game. The weather is going to be perfect for this time of year. It's a high of 46. It's a